Hello and welcome to the Daily Today, Daily, bringing you yesterday, today, and tomorrow's news today. I'm your host, Oswald at Enswald, and today we're talking about commies.
Recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist,
it's the end goal of ceasing the means of production.
We take his word for it.
Zorhan Mamdani. After facing whiteout conditions, divinely inspired to make this comment ironic.
We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
It seems that little Mr. Zorhan is also dealing with the heat of collectivism, a la Afghanistan and the Iranian Revolution. But first, I think people are moving on from the blizzard a little too quickly. 29 people died, 14 of which were in their own homes. Now, there are plenty of reasons why this might have happened, and Mamdani's only been mayor for a few months, so it's not entirely his fault. However, he did say that the city's response was lackluster, and in a recent interview has talked about lessons learned and things that he is going to improve on. I'm sure it'll all be very relevant.
What are the things that worked well over the course of this response that we could start from the first day? One thing we found was emergency snow shovelers.
Oh, God!
We came in, we had maybe about 1,500 or 1,600 emergency snow shovelers signed up to a program. We did the extensive outreach to then bring that number up by about 6,000 additional shovelers. Them paired with the incredible DSNY workers meant that they could clear crosswalks, bus stops, the very kinds of places that New Yorkers have often seen as the last part of the response to finally bring it up to the first part.
Yeah, but what about the people in the homes? The people that died in their homes.
What about deaths of New Yorkers out in the cold? And we learned this week there's some that occurred in homes, which we're now just finding out about.
We mourn the loss of each and every New Yorker, and we had 19 New Yorkers lose their lives outside.
There's some that occurred in homes.
Outside, and we found from the preliminary investigations that about 15 of them lost their lives from hypothermia outside, 3 from drug overdose and alcohol-related deaths outside, and then 1 from a cardiac event outside.
Warmth of collectivism, indeed.
To the workers of the world.
And side note, because I find this hysterical, even emergency snow shovelers are not free from automation. Reflex Robotics is on the case with the absolute worst application of robotics that I've ever seen in my life. It's like, he looks so sad. He looks so upset. He's like, it's a lore accurate communist robot. Oh my god, it's like Butterbot.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
Needless to say, I think that encapsulates the reason you don't send a clanker to do a communist's job.
That's a lot of clankers.
But as many of you may know, or worse, many of you don't know, things just keep getting worse for the new people's mayor. Because New York has decided to go 2001 retro in the form of ISIS terrorism. Context! So there was a white supremacy protest going on. This was an actual white supremacist protest. The guy, I think his name was like Lang or something. I don't care to Google it. You shouldn't either. He's a bad dude.
Because they should be condemned totally.
And as is standard for white supremacy protests in America, only about 20 people showed up, and I guarantee you 7 of them were LARPing.
Are we the baddies?
But that was 20 too many for a 19-year-old this name and 18-year-old that name. In response to 20 skinheads who have never felt the touch of a woman, they threw a bomb at them.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
I'm sorry, 2 bombs at them. Now, nobody was hurt, thank God, and I mean actually thank God, because this was not the NYPD's finest moment. Even so, Aladinu Akbar was detained, but not before he pledged himself to ISIS and the Islamic State. I'll give him points for branding. But this presented a problem for Comrade Mamdani, specifically because the white supremacist protesters were the victim of Islamic terrorism. Whatever shall we do? Well, you make it sound like they threw the bomb. The mayor posted this the following day, saying, "Yesterday, white supremacist Jake Lang Score got that one right. Organized a protest outside Garcia Mansion rooted in bigotry and racism. Such hate has no place in New York City. It is an affront to our city's values and the unity that defines who we are. Some would say that also applies to bombs. What followed was even more disturbing. Violence at a protest is never acceptable. The attempt to use an explosive device and hurt others is not only a crime, it is reprehensible and the antithesis of who we are. Do I even need to say it?
I think I can smell shite.
Now condemning white supremacists? Perfectly fine to do.
Condemned totally.
But, and how dare you make me say but, the dude that threw the bomb shouted Allahu Akbar. Nothing at all? Not even saying this isn't Islam? As a Christian, if a Christian did a thing, I would say, hey, that's not what Jesus taught. Because now what you've done is make it easy for the white supremacists to say that you're not condemning Islamic terror. Because you're not condemning Islamic terror.
People are really stupid. Did you ever notice that? How many really stupid people you run into during the day?
It also doesn't help that Mamdani's wife was apparently liking posts in support of the attack in Israel on October 7th while it was happening. This is what he had to say about that.
My wife is the love of my life, and she's also a private person who has held no formal position on my campaign or in my city hall. I, however, was elected to represent all 8.5 million people in this city, and I believe that it's my responsibility, because of that role, to answer any questions about my thoughts and my policies and my decisions.
Way to fight back against the allegations, man. Hey, does your wife support terrorism? Well, my wife doesn't represent me, so I think a strong no would have gone a long way there. Unfortunately, the fact that he seems fundamentally incapable of touching on the subject means that he seems to think that condemning it in no uncertain terms is bad for his voting base. Condemning Islamic terror is bad for his voting base in New York.
Are you forget what happened at 11 September? Is you forget? The American citizens don't forget.
What a time to be alive.